Hey guys, it's Thursday the 14th of September and I'm here with your weekly comic reviews. First up for DC, we have the Harley Quinn 25th anniversary special. It's kind of crazy to think it's been 25 years of Harley Quinn. I grew up with the Batman animated series where Harley Quinn first debuted. So it's kind of crazy to think 25 years already, but here we are. And Paul Dini actually writes one of the stories in here. The comic consists of several short stories, very good short stories actually. I was actually surprised because after the whole Suicide Squad and the new 52 and rebirth of Harley's character has very much changed. But the Paul Dini story, initially I was like, whoa, have you actually changed your idea of Harley? But there's a twist and I'm like, okay Dini, you got me. I'm wondering if you were just trolling all of us to begin with. But great art in it, as DC usually has, the standard DC art, and the storytelling is also very good. So if you're a fan of Harley Quinn, or just a fan of the Batman animated series as well, I would say actually this is a good one. Just grab it, pick it up. It's a one-shot, so it's just a bunch of little short stories that you'll probably enjoy. Next up from Marvel, we have Runaways #1. This was actually recommended to me by a friend. It was very popular in the early noughties, so before I started reading comics. A group of super villains children who get together and run away, as the title would give you. But because they're the children of supervillains, they have their parents' powers, some of them don't know how to use them correctly, they get rid of their parents, and some of them struggle with dealing with their powers because they have no idea how to control them. For me, I felt the issue was great. So much happens in such a short space of time with so many questions, it makes me want to know more, but it also made me have to do a lot of research because it's not very good for a first step into Runaways. Characters you're immediately presumed to have a knowledge of and not much explanation is given. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind not knowing things, but there's references to things, there's allusions to sort of bringing you onto other characters at the end, and you're like, who's this? I'm sure to people that know the comic, there's a reference there, and they're like, oh, okay, that's X, Y, or Z. To me, I have no idea. So I would say, as a step into Runaways for someone coming new into it, you're going to have to do a lot of research. It does seem to be worth it. The more I read about these characters, the more I do want to get the next issue, but it will be a bit of a challenge. And finally, for independents, we have a dark horse one finally, American Gods. I do love my Image, but I felt I was doing an Image comic basically every week. So I went for American Gods this time, issue #7. I also went for it because I started watching the TV series, which is very good, and Neil Gaiman, who wrote the novels, is writing the comic as well, so you know that all the continuities will be the same. If you're a fan of the series, I would say go for it because it does tie in at certain points. There are points, I remember that, and it's a bit different, and the whole concept of mythology and exploring that in an American setting is maintained. And the art's very stylized, so I'd say if you have a problem with the art that you're seeing at the moment, that's the make or break for you, fair enough. It's a good read, but I understand that the art in this is one of these that I think a lot of people, it's going to be Marmite. They're either going to like it or they're going to hate it. And for me, it took a bit to get into, but I don't know if I'll continue just because the art isn't up. It's not the kind of art style I usually go for, but hey, art is art and it's subjective. Anyway guys, that's it for this week. Keep reading, keep watching, and I'll catch you next time.